Aloha friends, and welcome back to Maui. Today I'm going to show you a very mind-blowing recipe, and I know that you all love Kai being in the videos, so make your comments below so Kai sees the comments that he's missed when he's not in the videos. But I'm doing it without him today because, well, first of all, he's in class right now. We homeschool. If you didn't know, now you know. We homeschool, and after COVID totally opened up a whole new homeschooling life. He's online with like a one-on-one expert with different subjects. It's really, really fun, and I can be there if he needs help. It's really great. Anyway, he hates eggs. He despises it. I usually don't use the hate word, but he despises eggs. He really does not like eggs. And the carnivore rice I'm about to show you, it's made with egg whites, but before you, don't turn this off. There's a special ingredient that's going to make the eggs firm, and it reminds you a lot of rice. My recipe testers, I have 10 of them. I love them dearly, and they are like, oh my word, when can I share about this recipe? Because I absolutely love it. Now here's the thing. I have a membership site where I coach people one-on-one. We have weekly meetings, all that type of stuff. They get all my recipes months in advance, sometimes years in advance. So if you're missing out, like, oh my gosh, this is really good, and where are all these types of recipes? That's where they're at. But I do give thousands of free recipes. So if you don't mind waiting for them, great, no big deal. But let's jump into the kitchen so I can show you just how to make carnivore rice. Okay, so another awesome thing about this recipe, it's very, very easy, and it tastes really, really good left over. So if it's the recipe calls for 4 cups of egg whites. If you don't want to make that many, you can obviously divide it in half. However, it really makes great leftovers. You can use it with my protein-sparing bourbon chicken, my carnivore meatballs, put it on top of that. It's a great way to add in protein for beautiful hair, skin, and nails. It's also protein-sparing, so if you're doing a protein-sparing fast day, modified fast day, you can certainly do that. But what you're going to do is first I'm going to grease my pan. It's not on yet. And I'm going to use, I love this Paleo Valley beef tallow. I'll have the link below where you can get it, but I'm just going to, I use my fingers all the time. I'm just going to add it down here. It's just beef tallow. That's all it is. And just grease the pan a little bit. Now, there are some tallow sprays if you're into that. That's great, but I'm keeping this completely carnivore for my carnivore family. There we go. And wash my hands quick here. Then I'm going to do a half batch because I'm going to make this a few times. So I'll always have leftovers. I want 2 cups. So here we go, 2 cups. And I'm just using the carton of egg whites. It's just 100% cage-free egg whites. That's all it is. You can get that pretty much at any store in Maui. We have limited supplies a lot of the time. Now, making sure that your pan is cold, I'm going to add this, okay? Or it's room temperature or whatever. Then my secret ingredient is gelatin. I'm going to add a tablespoon of Further Food gelatin. They just came out with new packaging, and I had a huge giveaway going on my Instagram. So if you're not following me there, check it out. I do a lot of giveaways there for my books or whatever. And I'm going to add 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to sprinkle that in and kind of let it dissolve before you want to let it dissolve before you heat anything up. I'm going to grab a whisk here and just whisk that in. And then I'm going to add one other thing. So you want it to dissolve. And this gelatin is what's going to cause it to really create a beautiful rice. And if you think about it, rice is very bland. It's like what you add to it. So at this point, if you want to, you can either add salt, or you could add something like an organic tamari sauce for the salt. You could add fish sauce. But it's going to add that flavor. So right now we're going to do like a white rice, a white carnivore rice. And I'm just going to add my salt to that, okay? And I use the Redmond real salt. I love that. Oh, and Further Food is so generous. If you use code Maria Mind Body Health, you save 18% on all your orders, not just first-time orders, all of them. So you just want the gelatin to dissolve for a minute or 2 before you start heating it up. You'll kind of see when it's completely dissolved. And I love using gelatin. It works perfect for making my carnivore bread chewy. So if you add some tablespoons of that to my carnivore bread, it's nice and chewy. Gosh, what else? I use it all the time. I make panna cotta. Oh, it tastes really good in my ice cream, my keto and carnivore ice cream. Super delicious there. I made some no-bake cheesecake. It's awesome. Okay, now I'm gonna start turning this on. And don't think that you know the recipe quite yet, because I'm just gonna scramble these now, and it's not gonna look like rice. So I'm just gonna start scrambling them up. And I'll use, I better grab that out of the sink here. A spatula. I don't understand why this is called a spatula, and so is this. I think that should be called different things. Like this is like a flipper, but I'll ask Kai, get the spatula, and he'll get like the wrong one. And I'm like, oh, so it's not your fault, dude. They're called the same thing. So just scramble these up, and I'll fast forward through that. Okay, once it's completely cooked through, you're going to get a nice size bowl and put the cooked egg whites into the bowl, and we're going to put that in the fridge to chill completely for a few hours or overnight or whatever you want to do. And this is a non-stick pan, but it's a scan pan, so it doesn't have the toxic chemicals. I can have the link to that below if you're interested in that, but love it, love it, love it, love it. It's a little pricey, but it's wonderful. It works great. So yes, this is going to go into the fridge, and I'm going to show you how to make it into rice once it's totally cool. Hey friends, since I've already had this, if you saw this is over in the corner on this side. I was already making my carnivore steak sauce because I make it every week. It's always in the fridge because I have a steak every morning for breakfast after my run. I thought, well, I might as well just show it to you how I make it. I'm going to start by browning butter. Now this is salted butter because salted butter does brown a lot better than unsalted butter. And you just put it over high heat. And I have a lot of whisks. This is like my third one I used today. And I'm just going to stay by it, stay close by. I brown butter so often that I can kind of hear when it's starting to brown, but it can easily turn black. So don't move away, don't go do the laundry, kind of hang out by it. And all you need to make the steak sauce is, so I have three, I should say 1.5 cups of butter, 3 sticks, 1.5 cups of butter. So I have 1.5 cups of, or 3 packages of 8 ounces of cream cheese. And then I have my beef broth, and then I use this truffle salt. This is the best one. And what you do is you're gonna brown it. As you can see, like the butter is turning brown. That's why I zoomed in on it so you guys can see it. I'm gonna turn this heat down a little bit. It starts to froth up. That's why I always use a bigger pot than you expect, like Julia Child suggests. And then this is when you're gonna whisk it because it's really turning brown now. And I kind of push it because I like it really dark. And if it's still hot underneath, it's still going to keep browning. So don't, just move away at that point. Yeah, all right. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to add my truffle salt. And you can always add more. You can't take away. So start slowly because, it has quite a strong flavor. You don't need a lot, and it's already salted butter. And I don't love truffle salt except for in this sauce. Now at this point, I'm going to get my blender out and show you how to finish it. So into the blender, I'm going to add my cream cheese. And it helps if it's a little bit room temperature, a little softened. And then I'm going to add, be very careful when you do this, but add the brown butter. And at this point, there's still a lot of brown goodness on the bottom of this. So I'm going to put my broth right on in there. And kind of use a spatula to get it all out. Mix it around. I'm going to add that to it. And at this point, I have the exact measurements on my website. It's a free recipe for all you guys. I have thousands. And you're just going to blend it up. And just know that once it chills, it's going to get very thick. So I usually make mine pretty liquidy at this point, and then it will thicken in the fridge. So that's how my steak sauce rolls. It's really easy. You can taste it, add more truffle salt. And again, remember, you can always add more. You can't really take away, whether it comes to salt, sweetness, whatever. So steak sauce. Now let's get back to the rice. Okay, and we're back. So what I did is it took about 15 minutes. I put it in the freezer. I put it on a plate and put it in the freezer. and it looks like this now. Some of it got really cold. If there's any liquid, discard that. You don't need that. But I wanted to show you also, this is how much steak sauce I got. A lot. I'm going to put it in the fridge and let it chill. It'll be ready for tomorrow's breakfast, and it'll last, I don't know, probably won't last me a week. And I'm the only one who eats it because I love it. At this point, if you have a ricer, you could use that. It's a ricer is something you squeeze, and I don't know, I think you use it for potatoes sometimes too. There's no need for me to have a ricer. I ordered one, but I quickly canceled it because I was like, there's no need. All my recipe testers used a food processor, and I don't need to show you with a ricer. Just to have another gadget in this little place, it's ridiculous. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna put it in here, and you're just gonna pulse it up until it's little pieces of rice. I'm gonna do this in batches. I think Kai's a little excited. He doesn't know what it is. He loves sushi, right? Is that your favorite food, Kai?
Yeah.
Yep. He's out of class now. But I'm still keeping it a secret. So, at this point, I probably did a little too much. Should have stopped. You get little pieces of rice. I'm actually going to do another batch that's not so small. But I have these sushi plates that I'm going to put it on too. Oh yeah, that's nice. It's kind of sticky, perfect for sushi rice. I'll show you once I do this other batch because this got a little bit too small. This is the only food processor I have. Again, I don't want any more gadgets because it's such a small place. And companies send me stuff all the time and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know where to put it. We have stuff in the attic. It's ridiculous. Crazy, crazy. And today I think a few things are coming today too. That's all right. I'm grateful. Can't complain. And this is a little tricky. Here we go. Now. Again, I don't want them to get too small. Things at the bottom. I should have done it in a smaller batch. There, perfect. Okay. Now I have my cute sushi plate like this. Chopsticks. I'm going to put that on the plate and let Kai dig in. And the next time I'm going to make my Asian meatballs over the rice because those are really good. The Asian meatballs it was in my first published cookbook, and it's so good I have to share it with all of you. I'll show you the whole recipe. It was so good that I went to a restaurant, it was a keto restaurant called Good Food. Corey, if you're watching, everybody misses Good Food. It was a cafe in Madison, Wisconsin, and he closed during COVID. And he was just the nicest guy. He's a type 1 diabetic who needs to eat keto, right? And he started this wonderful restaurant. And I went there to interview him, and I tried his meatballs. I'm like, these are the best meatballs. He's like, you should think that because it's your recipe. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's funny. So anyway, here's the rice. I don't know if you can see that. Nice and small little pieces of rice. And let's see what Kai thinks. Kai's taste test. Are you ready, Kai?
Sure, yeah.
You sure? Sure, yeah. Come on over, Mr. Dude.
Okay.
I put it on a sushi plate for you. I don't have any sushi, though. I know you're disappointed about that, right? Is that your favorite food, Kai? Sushi?
Has to be one of my favorites.
One of your favorites. Here, should we throw a microphone on you? There you go. Toss that on. And sushi is not my favorite. I love fish. I eat fish every day for lunch, but I do not like raw fish. Is it on? I didn't turn it on.
Turn it on.
Everybody wants to hear Kai, right? And comment below again so Kai knows that he was definitely missed during the filming of the Carnivore Rice. Here are your chopsticks.
Okay.
Okay, Carnivore Rice.
Let me get a good piece.
We need to teach you before we go to Japan. You always, you like it?
Yeah.
What would you rate it, 1 through 5? Don't be too, or 1 through 10. That's our rating, I guess, 1 through 10. Don't be too hard.
5.
A 5.
Yeah. It's because it has no flavor.
It has no flavor, right? But rice doesn't have flavor. But you wanted rice, right?
Yeah.
So now, how about I make Asian meatballs with this really delicious Asian sauce and put it on top of them and see what you think. Really good. Because it's more of a carrier for flavor, right? So anyway, what do you want to tell people?
Cook with your kids.
And share this video with your friends to show them how delicious the carnivore eating can be. Mahalo, everybody.
Mahalo.
When I was 16 years old, I was diagnosed with PCOS acid reflux, depression, and IBS. Instead of taking those prescription drugs, I decided to change my life with food. Yes, food healed me, and it's healed so many of my clients over the past 20 years of working with people. If you are interested in transforming your life, check out KetoMaria.com. I'd be honored to help you.